Sit up tall and straight here.
Clear your airways.
Got it.
Keep them nice and open.
Okay.
Ready for a podcast.
Sure.
I'm a big fan of our theme music.
Oh my God, I'm gonna put the kid to bed with this music.
That's honestly, it's been the one thing when people have listened for the first time, they're like, I really like the intro music.
Oh, that's sweet. I told you it was good stuff.
Who knew Game Boy music would do it?
Why is our dog trying to tear up your couch?
Hi.
What'd you lose?
Oh, I bet there's a bone stuffed down in there. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Krista.
I'm Krista.
Sorry. She's just gnawing at everything. She's losing her mind.
She's teething.
Hey, with that. Stop it. I gotta get her.
Here comes mama voice. Anyway, we are Parentally Unprepared. You can follow the show at PUnpreparedPod on Twitter, and you can email us parentallyunprepared@gmail.com.
What he said.
Yeah, you can reach out to us, and wherever you listen to us from, whatever your podcast platform is, rate, review, subscribe. It helps us out greatly. That probably helps us more than anything else.
I mean, donations are great too.
Yeah, if you want to donate,
we'll set that up.
Just let us know. I was in my head. I was like, I don't even know how someone would do this, but email us. We'll work something out. It's week 12.
Yeah.
It's week 12. How you feeling?
3 months pregnant. That's how I feel.
You feel 3 months prego?
Yeah. I still am extremely tired.
Does it feel very different other than being tired all the time?
Yeah, because I'm nauseous half of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Lightly nauseous. Again, as we've stated, I have not gotten the worst of this, so it feels stupid to complain.
Yeah.
This could be a lot worse.
You got time.
Yeah, but like every morning I wake up a little nauseous until I get some breakfast. And then by lunchtime, I'm like, nothing sounds good, but I know I got to eat.
Yeah, it all sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Until that point, right?
It's that kind of thing. And until somebody puts like cake or pie in front of me, I really just don't want anything, which is not like me. I normally don't have a huge sweet tooth.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've been tired too. I mean, I know that obviously I'm not physically pregnant, but
Are you not? You sure?
Mentally spent. And I don't know how much of it has to do, obviously, with the fact that we're expecting this, but, life gets busy. Work happens. Hobbies happen. Things happen. We gotta keep things going.
I think partners' energy, like you feed off each other too. So like, I mean, we've been together for nearly a decade. Like, so I feel like me and you feed off each other too. So if I'm tired, you're like, I kind of feel a little tired too.
Yeah, you're right. I'm very influenced by.
Well, and same with you to me. Like,
I'm hungry. Yeah, I'm kind of hungry too.
I'm kind of hungry too. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Well, it's week 12 and things are going well. We actually just came back from a small weekend getaway, a rare weekend getaway during the pandemic to go see the uncle and aunt. Uncle and aunt.
Soon to be uncle and
aunt
auntie.
or aunt?
I've said both in my life.
Auntie.
Yeah. I like auntie the best, but that's just because it's silly sounding and I like it.
Yeah. Well, we just wanted to get out and the original plan was to go and hike, get out in nature, walk around, do that stuff.
Then a hurricane came.
And then Hurricane Delta. That's what it's called, right? Hurricane Delta. Delta Burke.
Yeah, I thought it was like Bertha or something.
No, they're back on D's finally. They came all the way back around. It's Delta. And I guess the remnants of that was coming through the Georgia, Carolinas, all the way up through there. So we just kind of got soaked.
Yeah, it just was very soggy. But it was nice to still get out of our house.
Yeah, it was good. It was a nice change of scenery. We went to a couple of places just to kind of take in the football game and stuff like that. Some places that had some outside social distance.
I got to use my DD skills.
You did.
It's like I am a built-in DD now. It's wonderful. I feel so useful.
While you can fit behind that steering wheel, it's going to be very useful.
You got to give me a bigger car when I can. That's all.
Yeah, true. Get you like an Econoline van or something like that. One of those conversion vans.
Yeah, I will only drive one of those if it has the fisheye bubble window in the back.
The moon window?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want a brown one with a yellow and red and orange racing stripe with the bubble window. And I'm not even playing.
Give me flashbacks of like my earliest memories as a kid was taking a trip with my family and a couple of their friends to Myrtle Beach. And we rode in a van like that, only it was white with a red and orange stripe.
And any red shag rug in it too.
Oof.
Yeah.
Get dirty quick.
No, it doesn't. It hides everything.
That's gross. Sorry, I had a beard hair just attacked my mouth.
I thought you were talking about my carpet choice color.
Yeah, that too.
Okay.
That's very gross. I don't like carpet that I can lose whole sets of keys in.
People are like envisioning our house as this just 70s hellhole.
It is. It financially, oof, it really is. But it was nice to get out and right now we're kind of taking advantage of the fact that you're still mobile and able to get around and not have to.
I'm really hoping that doesn't become an issue. Like a lot of people stay mobile. Like my cousin was on her feet working in a hospital till last week and she's getting induced today.
Dude, that's crazy to me.
So
she's
nuts.
a very tiny person too.
And the baby is not like. She's all baby right now. I think there's 20% person and 80% baby there.
She's already really easy to overlook, like on a normal basis, because she's so tiny. You're like,
it just means she's short.
Yeah, and it's like did I just hear somebody? Oh,
let me look down.
So it'll be interesting. So the baby will probably pop out about the same size as her.
It's quite possible.
Wouldn't that be weird?
They said the baby has no more room to grow.
Oh,
so they just decided to go get it.
But that's the hope, right? Like I think a lot of people hope that when they get pregnant, that they at least just stay as normal looking as possible, other than the baby. Know,
I don't even mind like normal looking not being the thing. I just want to have like some decent mobility, like. I don't want to be somebody that's. I'm really hoping there's no like bed rest or anything like that, because that just it gets dicey, man. And
that's dangerous.
It's dangerous. You go stir crazy. Like
you're already stir crazy because you've been working from home and stuck at home because of the pandemic. So like I can't imagine if you were like confined to a bed too.
You'd hate me.
No, I don't think I would.
No,
I think
I'd make you. I'd be like, listen, I got nothing else to do.
Here's your bell. I'm gonna close the door.
My new mission is to drive you insane with me.
Gotta work. Sorry. Gotta work. Just down here, just staring at a corner.
Oh.
Sweet silence.
Thank God for computers, right? At least you could just like give me a laptop.
Yeah, you kind of have that
productive done, but
that window to the world, right?
Yeah, we got plans though, man. We got to stay mobile for a while because we got some house plans and some dog plans and some adventure plans, and hopefully we can get all those done in the time of COVID.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, we're trying to get walk-in at least 3 times a week would be nice.
Jeez.
We haven't done that for this week yet.
Yeah.
But it's only Monday.
That's outdoor walking. Like we've got, the indoor setup if we need it, if it's rainy, but
yeah, and we were gonna have this out probably a day earlier. We decided Sundays will be our recording days, but yesterday we were traveling back from seeing auntie and uncle. And
ran into the weather on the way back too.
Ran into weather that slowed us down a little bit, and by the time we were back, it was just, especially when I don't know, I feel like everything we do now together or out and about is me thinking about, oh God, there's a baby here too. Like,
yeah.
So you're driving more careful. Like you're like, oh my goodness, I don't want anything to happen. So I'm already like, especially when it's raining and a little crappy out, like I'm already a little
on edge,
just watching, because sometimes it rains a lot and you can't see like the lines on the road. You're just like, all right, I'm just going to stare at these 2 lines directly in front of the car.
I'm glad you didn't tell me you were like thinking about that in the car.
I always do though.
No, I'm glad you didn't on the way back, because normally I'm the anxious one.
Yeah.
And I didn't think about that once in that bad weather.
Well,
so if you had said that to me, I'd have been like, yeah, there's a baby. Oh my God, we're all going to die.
Well, and you've got a birthday coming up, and I'm not too far behind you. And it's, we made that realization today at lunch. We were just sitting there talking about, oh, what do you want to, go get some takeout or whatever for your birthday. And I was like, yeah, enjoy it. This is the last birthday you're going to have without a kid. Like technically you're with the kid, but without a kid, like actually.
The last one was the last one I had completely without a kid.
Right. So, and same for me. I'll go through my final birthday non. Well, I guess I'm technically. Am I a parent yet, or are you not a parent till it pops out?
I'm gonna say.
We're parents.
I'm gonna say you're.
Be.
Yeah, I was gonna be mean about it and be like, "You're not, I am."
Oh.
But
you are nothing yet.
But I don't actually believe that, so I said it out loud to get him to laugh. That's about it.
Well, thanks.
Yeah,
Appreciate your thoughts.
But it's funny, like, so it's the times that I think about what's coming, which is weird with me because you would think it would literally occupy my brain space every waking moment because I'm so planning centric and anxious and I'm a worrywart. Mm-hmm. Like I'm always thinking about the 10 worst things that could happen in the next scenario and how to avoid them or plan for them and reroute. And I feel like I'm not doing that a whole lot right now, which is kind of weird for me, especially. Like the other day, we like to travel, but sometimes we do like the real fantasy travel daydreaming where it's like the once in 10-year trips and we're acting like we're going on them every couple months.
Right.
I looked at you and I was like, I want to go to Bora Bora.
And more importantly, she said, I want to take
I was about to
Bonnie.
say that.
Oh,
Why
sorry,
didn't you let me finish?
Go ahead, sorry.
We have a little tiny Boston Terrier who's cute and pocket-sized almost. And she was being adorable. And I was like, I want to go to Bora Bora and I want to take Bonnie. I want to see her swim in the clear water under a hut. And he was like, you know, you're going to have a kid soon, right? Like, you're going to have to take the kid too. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I basically said, you know, when that trip is possible, there will be a child involved. She's like, oh, yeah. And then that kind of left you with the realization of just like everything going forward.
Yeah.
Will be in some way, at least for 18 years, will involve the child for the most part.
And you said at least for 18 years, but like, think about it.
There's more.
With our parents, we go on trips with them all the time still.
Sure. Yeah, there definitely will be more. But I mean, I think, you know, at least the big trips, unless we figure out some really cool babysitting situations, which we might. We got some great grandparents too. We'll see. But like, yeah, but you want to share that with them. Like, it's not even the fact of like, can we get away? It's like, you kind of want to.
I'm not so sure I want to share Bora Bora with like a 1-year-old, but
no, well, there's certain things you wait on for
when they
memories.
can appreciate
like,
it. Yeah,
like you know the rule. You don't go to Disney before they remember it, right?
Unless you're going to Disney for you,
right? Yeah, that's true.
Which we've done.
If that's the case, then the grandparents watch the kid. Like, come on,
you're drinking around Epcot, and we know it, man. Don't hold the kid.
Yeah, right. That's the last thing we need to be doing. Last time I saw the kid was somewhere near Mexico.
He had a pineapple Dole Whip. What?
I remember there was a margarita in my hand.
Alessio, I love you.
Alessio. Gosh, I forgot about Alessio.
Jeremy
was Italy.
Jeremy went to Italy and made bestest buds with the guy giving us iced Italian daiquiris.
Oh, yeah. Alessio. He was a nice dude. He kind of looked like one of my brothers.
He did. He did.
That's probably why I hit it off with him so well. I was in very smiley, joyous, drunk mode.
Speaking of.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm not. You got so silly this weekend. It was like I haven't gotten to experience silly happy you like with the intoxication. You're always silly and happy, but in a hot minute. And we were out with your brother and sister-in-law. And you were so snuggly and so excited about the baby. And you kept just like being like touching my tummy and being like, baby, 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 baby. And
I don't really like, I remember this, but I don't remember the specifics of it.
Touch hazy. It's fine.
And apparently I was a little too crabby.
You were fine. I wasn't even going to.
I wasn't like harassing you in any way. But
No, I wasn't going to like call the cops on him or anything. But
thankfully.
Thankfully. Yeah, it was awesome though, like in a way, because I was just like, he's so excited. Oh, like it was just this like pure, no like filter on it, excitement about the baby. And it made me feel super happy.
I'm pretty excited. I mean, like obviously there's a great, when you jump into something like this, there's a great unknown with it when it's your first go round. I mean, I'm sure it doesn't get very different on the subsequent go rounds, but like, because then you're adding another person to the mix of people that you're already trying to get used to.
Yeah, I know a bunch of people that were, they're like, will our second kid and our first kid get along? Like, oof. I hope they're buds. I hope they don't hate each other. Like, I mean, everybody knows people that have siblings they hate. Like,
yeah, absolutely. So it's, I think each subsequent kid comes with its own thing, but like this is obviously the first time around, so it's
we're pumped.
Well, at this point too, like if you think about your 30s, right? Like you think about your 30s, and like up to this point, you're usually settled into a job. You're usually kind of doing the things you want to do outside of work, and you've kind of got a rhythm going, right? So you kind of settle into this. I know what to expect. I kind of can know day to day that it's going to be fairly normal without, here and there might be something different that comes along. Now there's this really big deal coming down the line, right? And it's kind of exciting because when's the last time something really big like changed your life, aside from going to college?
I think college.
Like that?
I think college is the last time something huge like that, this like instantly changed your life. Like when we met, obviously that was a big change of our life, but it was a gradual one. Like, and when we got married, that wasn't a huge change from our day-to-day life. It was just, like in our hearts, like something had changed.
Well, and you even talk to people that like are friends that already have kids, and they're just like, they can't even put it into words for you. They're just kind of like, you see the kid and everything it's just a snap in your head. It's just a different everything. And I'm already looking at the world differently now that I'm, going around. I'm just kind of like, oh man, you got to consider how, like something that.
How do you explain this to somebody?
Right. Like something that you see every day, you could be like, oh, like maybe you're walking through an art gallery, right? And there's paintings of nude people or something like that. And you kind of be like, it's the body, it's just little things you have to explain to someone who's literally a blank slate. Like, it's going to be weird. You just look at the whole life differently. I don't want to say I have a ton of, I've always had a good amount of empathy for people, but like you see moms now, you see parents now, and you're kind of thinking about, before it was just kind of like, oh, there's someone with kids, and you just kind of keep moving on. It kind of reminds me of, if you watch Scrubs, there's the episode where the people disappear when they put on their wedding rings.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like now
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's kind of like that. It's kind of like when you.
So I had baby fever for a while leading up to this. So I was like noticing every child and mom for a good while. But I totally know what you mean. Like it's like when you buy a car and then you see that car on the road, like every other car.
It's because it's in your mind, and so now there's a different way of thinking about kids. Like, we've talked about kids and we've wanted kids, but now it's happening. So now when you see things, you're kind of like, maybe that guy's got some strats. I need to see what he's doing to parent his kid over there.
That kid's super quiet. Would it be rude of me to go ask him what he did to make that happen?
Hey man, what the hell did you do? Because I need to do that. I need to do that.
I need to take notes, please. Yeah, and then you see the people that have inexcusable kids, and you're just like, nope, I still can't.
And I think that people who, and not to be down on people who don't want kids or people who are unsure about kids, I think that when it's a little more of a big deal when they see ill-behaved children.
Oh yeah.
Because they're just kind of like, that's reinforcing my decision. That's why I don't want them, or that's why I'm unsure about them.
I mean, and I know plenty of people that even with the plenty of good kids they know, they're just like, listen, it's just not for me. And totally fine. You didn't need, those people didn't even need me to tell them it was fine. It's just, of course, bad kids are going to reinforce that, but there's plenty of people out there that are just like, I don't give a if you. Dang it.
There's their first one.
But there's plenty of people out there that are just like, it doesn't matter if you hand me Gandhi's kid. I'm not going to want my own kid.
Yeah, there's definitely people who are in that mode.
I don't know if Gandhi's even a good reference anymore.
Did Gandhi have kids?
I don't think he did, but I just meant as a good person standard. But I don't even know if he's a good person by general standards anymore, because I know Mother Teresa got struck down. So I'm just like,
if you hand me Jesus' child
anymore,
I'm going to. But yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. There's just people who that's not their lifestyle, and I'm I was almost one of those people at some point. I've always kind of wanted kids, and then there came a time where I was kind of like, do I really? But
can't wait for her to listen to this.
No, it's just
would have thought these would have been thoughts you just keep in there.
No, the thoughts come out, but I've always, I don't know, I've never been nervous about having kids. You know what I'm saying? Like it's never been something where I'm just kind of like, I'm nervous, but I'm nervous excited. I'm not nervous like I can't do this. I'm nervous like, what's this going to bring? It kind of circles back around to what I was talking about a second ago. It's just the new, it's a gigantic unknown and a different part of life that now will be thrust open.
I feel like, so you got me into scuba diving, and the first time you ever like we ever went on a boat in the open ocean.
Oh yeah.
That was like tens of thousands of feet deep, and there's no touching or seeing any bottom, and we were just supposed to jump in and go underwater. I'm like, I feel like that's going to be every single morning for the rest of my life now. Like that kind of nervous.
At least at first, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of nervous approach of what the hell lies beneath this.
Yeah. And you're always going to have some level to that excitement. You know, when they get older, they're going to eventually be walking. They're eventually going to be driving. They're eventually going to be going off to college. Like it's all these, it's a bunch of these. Yeah.
She needs a bubble.
It's a bunch of these steps leading up to that. But yeah, I think that's a great metaphor. Or is that a metaphor? Yeah.
I don't know.
That's a great way of looking at it, because the first time you do go out for your first scuba dive, it is very much like, I don't know what I'm about to do, but here we go. And you just take that step up. This could kill me. Yeah, this feels very dangerous. And your body is like, the first time you try to breathe underwater with, all your scuba stuff, it's just like, what are you doing? Let's not. Let's go back up there where the air is.
Yeah, and my body's like, so you building something? You sure you want to do that? We know how it works when you're not building things. How about you do that?
We kind of got into, there's a couple
not
things.
Not my body, but my brain.
We kind of got into a couple of things over the weekend, just talking to, my brother and sister-in-law, and like, we were talking about like discipline and how are we going to.
I'm so scared of this. I'm not scared of being a disciplinarian. Like, I think I'm going to be the like main disciplinarian. It's just, oh my God, there's so many ways to do this wrong.
There are.
Like, so many. And like, there's 80,000 that don't even include hitting.
Right.
Like, you're just like, oh my God, I could just psychologically ruin this child and not even realize I'm an idiot, like, until they're 35 and tell me.
I think that's probably been weighing on you, not the discipline part, but like how
screwing up the kid. Yeah.
That's been weighing on you since we even talked about having children, of just like, I just don't want to do something that will mess them up, in the way they're thinking about one thing in the world and stuff like that.
I'm just like, my goal is my kid doesn't need therapy.
I want to save them money later on in life.
Like, I'm just like, they're going to break a bone. They're going to get their heart broken. Like, there's going to be so many things that I don't want them to have to deal with, that I will have no control over. And I just have to get past that and help them through it when it comes to it.
Yeah.
But the things I do to them, I can freak out about.
Right. Like, well, and I've even said my approach is going to be, and we've talked about this already, we can eat our words on this all day long, going on into the future. But my idea of what I daydream about in my head is, you give them the facts, you give them the facts and the details around certain parts of life, and you kind of coach them along. But ultimately, a lot of things when you learn in life are going to be mistakes you make. So it's a clever balance of giving them information that would be helpful and being there for them when they make mistakes, and allowing that to happen. I think a lot of people try not to let those things happen. I'm not talking about catastrophic mistakes, but just like, you picked the wrong video game and you hate it. Now you've bought it and that's it. Something as small as that, all the way up to
that's
something.
Pretty small.
It's small, but it's still a lesson learned. It's like, maybe next time do a little more research on what you're buying. Those kind of mistakes are the reason why I'm obsessive about looking up. See,
I'm more like, okay, don't date bad boys because it's going to piss your parents off, sweetie. It's literally just wasting 15 years of your life.
It's a bad investment.
It's a bad investment, exactly.
You end up not alone, but you end up not staying with that person anyway. Oh, God. So just get out of there.
Don't let that boy dentist you. Just don't do it.
You talking about Always Sunny?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
The dentist system.
Yeah. I mean, it's but you know, at some point you just kind of have to be like, all right, well, I hope I did a good job.
Yeah.
Have a good time at college.
Never been too good at that part.
You know, and we've got family that have gone to college, and we're like, well, they're learning the lessons. How do how do you budget money? How do you deal with the fact that, you know, you've now got,
You don't have somebody on your shoulder telling you what to do and what not to do anymore.
you've got full autonomy over your social situation, right? You can go out if you want to. You
Any
can stay in and
situation.
read a book if you want to. Any situation.
Yeah.
You can not go to class. You can go to class. You can go to more classes. Like, it's really up to you. And
Did I ever tell you I was the nerd in college that wanted to like just sit for classes that I wasn't taking?
No,
I didn't do it long.
makes sense.
I didn't do it long, but
What made you stop?
social life. I finally got one. Are you spitting on your mic?
No, I thought I had a beard hair stuck in the foam.
Yeah. No, finally got a social life and less nerdy. But
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean, I was similar. I never actually went and sat for other classes, but I was always like, I'd hear about someone taking like a different history class. I'm like, man, that sounds really interesting. But then you realize,
just audit like a random class.
right?
Yeah.
And then like you're just kind of like, I've got a lot going on in my classes,
Yeah.
and I'd like to go out and do stuff with the money I worked for as well. So
Yeah, that started catching up with me. Anyway,
but
tangent.
but yeah, it's you hope you can mold all that, and disciplining's a very, you know, everybody's got a different approach to it.
Well, I mean, not even just discipline, but encouragement too. Like encouragement's a balancing act because you don't want to give the kid a big head or like an ego problem. Like
You don't want to be like, you can be anything.
because you're better than everybody else.
Right.
Like, yeah.
You can be anything. You just might have to work harder in A, B, C, you know.
I mean, and I honestly, like that can be anything. I don't know if I honestly believe that, but at the same time, there's plenty of people that have proven it is true.
Mm-hmm.
So you're just like, well, I don't want to discourage them from anything,
Right.
but I also don't want them to like really waste time.
Yeah.
And you never know what's a waste of time because how many people plugged away at it for 25? Dang it, that's two. How many times do people plug away at something for 25 years and then they hit it, like, or then they figured it out?
Yeah. I mean,
I think Morgan Freeman didn't start acting until he was like 40.
well, there's that. There's just, I think more so what you need to focus on will be
Being happy.
being happy, but managing expectations. Like, maybe don't expect everything to fall in your favor, and know how to react when it doesn't fall in your favor. Like, maybe it's not the best idea to be, be upset about it when something doesn't work. Dude, I'm someone who has gone after 3 or 4 different careers, and it just didn't work out, up till now. So you become well versed in it. I think I'm definitely not alone in that.
Mm-mm.
So being like, hey, it doesn't always work out the way you want it to, but you still earn something for working toward that. Like, you still learned something, whether you realize it or not. You've learned something out of that experience. So being able to take it and flip it over, like, because when we first got together, my goal was to be an air traffic controller. And
you had a career path before that was completely different.
Right. And then, it ended up not working. Neither of those ended up working out. And so it just took, all right, let's drop back and punt and figure out what's next. I wasn't happy about it. It wasn't the coolest time in life. But
I was there.
But you were there, and we adjusted, and I started in a different trajectory. And luckily I know people that would help me along that way. So it's giving those lenses to them. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like giving that outlook to them, and whether they take it or not, they'll have to eventually learn that.
I don't know what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
One other thing we did touch on too, in the line of this was this. We announced last week that it's going to be a little girl, and you were talking. I was telling you, like, look, I'll be able to be there and talk to her about whatever and whatever I can contribute, but you're going to have the female perspective. You're going to have the, perspective that I don't have any experience with, where it's like, we even brought up, like, she will experience some level of sexism and stuff like that. Like, it's going to be a thing. Nah. It's going to be a perfect world.
Her mom's just going to beat everyone that hurts her. It's fine.
But you've got a unique aspect, just like if it was going to be a boy, you know, I would have a you know, a boy's
You're so
perspective.
convinced I'm gonna have like this leg up though, and I'm just like, she's gonna be a daddy's girl. She's gonna hate me.
No, I don't think it's going to be like a huge leg up. It's still a person that's trying to figure out how the world works, but you're going to at least be able to explain some things and some things to look out for, you know.
Yeah.
And
we hope I can explain them without, you know, dropping a bunch of bleeps in there and stuff like that.
This kid's going to hear bleeps.
Jeez.
Oh, so many bleeps.
Poor thing. You know, like, I know when I was growing up, gosh, you're so loud, doggy. Give me that for now.
Taking the bone away.
You can have it back shortly. Just like the biggest compliment a little girl could receive when I was growing up is you're beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
That's a little different now. Like, and I don't want that to be the best thing she ever hears. I hope to God she's beautiful, of course. Like, and I'm sure she will be. Like, but I want people to appreciate her and for her to expect and to want to be appreciated for more than that. Because we all know looks fade. But if you know, develop a great personality and can let things roll off your back and can roll with punches and
thick skin for sure.
Yeah, and be smart and kind. Like, kind was 5th on my list. I hope you realize that. Like, I want to teach her those things, but not like just fall back on those Southern roots of, oh, you're such a pretty little girl. You're so beautiful. And like, that's all you just dote on her about.
You want a large scope of drive for expectation. Like there's
not just expectation, but like what she feels good about hearing too. Like, and I know I can't control what other people tell her. Like, and if all the grandparents only ever tell her she's beautiful and never once tell her she's smart, like there's nothing I can do about that. But I want to make sure I remind her all of the other important things.
Yeah.
I'm going to get emotional.
Listen to you. Well, I mean, like it's saying things like, well, not even saying things, but like just expect like, oh, you're clever or that's really funny. Like it's getting to know those things. Why are you being all cry?
Because I'm pregnant, man.
I'm trying. There was a couple. Sister-in-law brought up something interesting this weekend too. One of her friends, and this is still a weird one to me. We talked about it a little bit, but like telling your child whether or not that it's okay not to hug somebody. Mm-hmm. Like if they don't want to hug somebody, even if they're related to them, it's okay because that's their thing.
And so there is a little happy medium there, I think. You got to teach your kid to not be a jerk.
Yeah, don't be rude.
Yeah.
It's still going to hurt people's feelings even when you're not rude.
Because that's the thing is like you have to teach them that you never have to hug anyone.
Right.
But there's a lot of easier times where you can navigate something socially by just giving somebody a hug. You should never hug someone ever that makes you uncomfortable.
Right.
Like that's what I want to teach her because that we were talking about. Like that's how predators, and not just like predator in the traditional sense of it, but just manipulative people will get in because they're just like, they use these social cues that are ingrained in all of us to be like, well, why aren't you being nice to me? And it's like, I'm not been not nice to you. I just didn't want to touch you.
It's a weird, unsaid, you should smile more.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like, you should smile more. Exactly.
It's a subservient, submissive thing that you're teaching subtly. You're not even, and you're, and I don't even think that's people's intentions.
There's a lot of people though.
There's a lot of people who have, but that's not their intentions. But that's what it teaches subconsciously. I think the intention is like, no, that's your aunt so and so, and you love her. Go give her a hug. But it's still teaching them something of just being like, go get. You may not necessarily want this, but go do that anyway.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like the kid needs to listen to their parents when they're told to do something for safety reasons a lot of times. Like I joke with you that when I'm like trying to tell you something slyly but not saying it directly, like you never get what I'm saying, and
a lot of times I don't.
We're gonna die in a situation where I'm trying to give you like mild clues that we need to get the heck out.
We're gonna live because my mind is like a mongoose.
No, it's not. Okay. But those, you have to give the kid small clues like that too. When like my mom was a single mom.
Pick up on subtleties.
Yeah, and she'd have to be like, you need to walk with me right now and don't look behind us and just get in the car and don't say a word and shut your door and lock it. Like we didn't live in the greatest city. Like,
right.
And you have to teach the kid not to argue, not to throw a tantrum in those moments and just do what mama says. Like, and that's hard.
Maybe the tantrum would make that person leave you alone though. Like, ooh, not that kid. Let me get out of here.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to test it. How about that?
I'm just kidding.
But it's hard to teach those kinds of things where you're also teaching the kid you don't have to do what everyone expects you to do if you don't feel like it. Like,
right.
So you're walking a tightrope. I feel like all of parenting is finding a tightrope.
Tightrope or tightrope?
Tightrope, right?
Tightrope, yes.
I've always called it a tightrope.
A tightrope?
But I know what it is. I know how it's spelled, but I always say it as stupid.
I was like, did I hear that right?
Yeah, you did. You should hear the way my family pronounces most things. This dog is very wiggly. Sorry.
Let her down.
No, she was climbing my entire side.
Oh, she wanted to be in your lap.
She wants something, and I'm not giving her whatever. I'm not going to find out what it is, so I'm just going to hold her for now.
But so we've been talking about stuff like that.
Great parenting starts here.
And what's great is we got a little time before the baby. Not a lot of time, but we got a little time before they're here. We got a little more time before they're walking. A little more time before they're having a conversation as deep as sexism. But
great, thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank goodness.
But I think these are important things to think about and be prepared for, because they're obviously things that are going to be on our minds now, then they're definitely going to be on our minds later, as they develop into a young woman.
I mean, people want the hug and the kiss from the baby when they're like, they can hold their head up, like, so.
And I think there will be some,
and right now, since we're in a pandemic too, like, what do you do? Because half the people are going to want to kiss all of this kid. Don't wear masks anywhere.
Right. There are a lot of people who don't.
Like,
it's going to be interesting to navigate. And I think two people learn lessons there, though.
I'm dreading it, honestly. Like, this is the part I'm anxious about, is we are going to have some uncomfortable situations, I'm sure.
Yeah. There will be. I mean,
why can't people just wear masks and make everybody not have to deal with that?
You can tweet to us or write in.
Don't tweet to me if you don't like that I'm mad about masks. I don't even care.
Yeah, we're pro mask here, so don't bother.
Yeah.
At P Unprepared Pod on Twitter and parentally unprepared at Gmail. Let us know. I mean, obviously, some of you out there already have kids. How are you dealing with some of this stuff? What have you been doing to kind of prepare for having a child during the pandemic, or what have you been doing since you've had your child during a pandemic? Because there's a lot of people that have. Mm-hmm. And I think it's going to be a lesson not only for the kid, right? It's going to be a subconscious lesson to the people that will be potentially uncomfortable. Like, it's like, I mean, I'm not saying you can't hug my child, but if she doesn't want to hug you, then you have to respect that. And then, like, maybe that's something where you forge your relationship. Just because I know you doesn't mean I can hug you, kind of thing. And maybe it becomes something where she does want to hug you,
Yeah, I mean, and I don't think we're going to have a very long explanation.
No,
yeah.
I would never explain that to someone.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be like, she didn't feel like a hug. Like,
she doesn't feel like hugging. I'm not going to make her.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what you want me to do.
I think that's about as far as it ever needs to go. Like, I think that's as far as anyone's explanation needs to go, ever. You're 45 or 5. Like,
and I mean, you can get mad or you can just stay mad. I don't know.
Yeah.
Get over it. I mean,
gosh, it's so
there's,
much.
There's a lot, because there's a lot of unwritten expectations around pregnant women, children.
Oh God, if anybody puts their hand on my belly that is a perfect stranger, I will absolutely claim self-defense.
You will draw back a nub.
I will definitely be claiming self-defense.
It's weird. I mean, you've got girlfriends that have stories about people just being complete strangers walking up to them in grocery stores.
One of my friends is pregnant right now with me with her second, and her first, she was a twig with a pregnancy belly, and she can tell stories that will turn your hair white about just the fetishizing of her in the grocery store by like grown ass men.
Yeah.
Grown ass men, like making like stock boys in the grocery store uncomfortable. Like,
right.
just, basically walking up and being like, "Why aren't you smiling?"
Or asking questions.
I can't even remember what
like,
she said.
You're not listening to me. Like there was one where you talked about where he was asking her when she was due, right?
No, he didn't even say. He said something creepy, like
How
it could
far
have been,
along are you, or something like that?
I can't even remember, but it could have been mistaken that like he was not talking to her, but it was about pregnancy.
So let's just say, for instance, he said, "When are you due?"
He just like walked up and standing next to her, not walked up to her and made eye contact or like made any pleasantries, just like walked shoulder to shoulder with her and just like talked at the aisle too, like, and just said something weird and cryptic and creepy. And she's just like, he can't be talking to me, right? And just kind of went about her business. And then he was like, "Oh, are you going to be rude to me?"
Oh yeah,
or something like
why
that.
Why are you ignoring me? Or something?
Yeah. Why are you ignoring me? And I was just like, you should have turned to him at that moment and been like, "Because you're creepy, like you're creeping me out."
I can't imagine being a pregnant woman and having to deal with that, because I can't even stand to deal with that with like people I semi know, where they're just kind of like, "Oh, you're not going to respond." Like when they're asking you a question that has nothing to do with anything going on between you, like
or just a rhetorical question that like it doesn't
need an answer.
It would be a rhetorical question to anyone except for that person.
Yeah,
like, okay, why are you asking that? That's rhetorical.
It feels very desperate. It feels very needy, and that's really weird.
Oh man.
I don't know. Like,
my best friend, so her kid's a teenager now, but she would tell me stories about how so she wasn't married at the time, but she was engaged, and she was like, they didn't have money for an engagement ring though.
Mm-hmm.
And she had to like go find a knockoff ring to wear in the grocery store because people were so rude to her about just walking around 8 months pregnant with no ring on.
With no ring on.
I mean, like,
we got friends that
like women would walk up and say stuff to her.
You with younger brothers would be walking around when they were kids, and people would be giving you.
My brothers are about 2 decades younger than me, give or take. And yeah, if I was picking them up for daycare or anything, like, and stopped by the grocery store on the way home, oh my goodness, the dirty looks I got about being an unwed teenage mother. And I looked a little bit older than I was for my age. So just young mom most likely is what they were thinking. But geez.
Some people just have it written all over their face.
I just don't understand why people care so much about other people.
Yeah.
Like, nobody walking through the grocery store is affecting your life in any way unless they're not wearing a mask in a pandemic. And so why do you care? Like,
yeah. I almost wonder if it should be... I almost wonder if we should... I just lost my train of thought. Oh, if we should have like almost a segment where we can find a creepy pregnancy story and pull it apart.
I guarantee you I could find one. It's like they're sending them to me through my phone. I read a weird one every other day, it feels like now.
Take note of them. I would love to talk about that stuff. Like, I think that there's people out there that just don't understand that what they're doing is weird.
Well, and I know pregnancy is fascinating. Like, I know it is. It's so weird and so interesting. And there are lonely people out there. Totally get it. Doesn't mean you have the right to do anything with a pure stranger. Like, it doesn't mean a pure stranger owes you anything. Like, it's just like, you know, how people talk about, like, we don't owe you sex or affection or something like that when you're talking about feminism and neckbeards and all the good stuff that's come out of the 21st century. Like,
well, there's also a weird bridge over to something I think we touched on in one of the earlier episodes. Is she being wiggly?
I don't know what she's doing.
She's so weird.
She's burrowing, but not. She's just sitting with her nose in my elbow, like she's been put in the corner for misbehaving.
But I think we might have talked about it on the first or second episode, where it's kind of odd to talk to family after you're pregnant. Like, because they're like, oh, have you guys been trying? It's like, are you asking me if we're having sex? Yes, that's how this happens.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, you had to have the talk with me about how this happens.
It's so odd, especially when you talk to like parents or older relatives. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh yeah? Got it going on, huh?
Or when they're like, so when you gonna give us some grandkids? And you're like, can you stop?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, my mom even's been like, before, like when we were trying, I was like, well, I know you guys are trying, so.
I got asked if I was taking my temperature in front of mixed company at a gathering one time. And I was like, no, really wish we weren't having this conversation right now. That'd be great.
I only met this person 3 times. I've only met this person 3 times.
No, I've met this person 300 times. Still don't want to discuss this with them. Like,
it is odd. It's an odd thing to discuss.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I would love to hear more weird pregnant stories where just people just some of the weird stuff people think is just okay to even say, to do, to just any of it, you know?
I mean,
because the fetishizing thing is real. My mom even told me like how weird it was when she was, maybe we need to ask her, because she said when she was, you know, pregnant with me and my brother that people were just creeps.
Well, I mean, especially in the 80s. I can't even imagine. There's like no personal space given, like no respect for women.
Well, and my mom's a super pretty, like half, you know, very ethnic looking lady. Like, and it's just, she said that just strangers would say the weirdest stuff to her. Oh,
everybody keeps telling me how beautiful our child's going to be just because of the ethnic mixture. And I'm just like, I get it. You're hoping for blue eyes. I get it. Like,
yeah. I mean, look, I could run so many scenarios right now, but we made fun of the child in the last podcast. So we're going to give her a break. A couple of people wrote to me and it sounded like that was hilarious.
All right, sweetie. Well, Dad got some laughs at your expense, so good for him.
So did you. Just go back and listen. Both people were laughing.
Dang it. Okay.
Really hard.
All right. Mommy's going to cuss again. Great.
Well, we've been going about 47 minutes, but let's go through our what to expect stuff, right?
Yeah.
We're in week 12.
I got a lime.
A lime. So the baby's the size of a lime, about 0.5 ounces.
What's the nostalgia? Let's see.
Tell me.
A hacky sack.
A hacky sack. All right. So if you're listening to this as a grown-up or whatever, down the line child, I had several hacky sacks.
So did I.
As a kid.
So did I.
I was not a hippie, but for some reason, somewhere right there in middle school, people just want to play with hacky sacks.
I wonder if that's where a lot of my hip problems come from, is trying to play all them little hacky sack tricks.
No, that's you throwing yourself over a very tall bar in track.
No.
That's your back problems.
That's the back, yeah. There's a lot of stuff. Anyway, the movie and TV props item is the hunk of amber from Jurassic Park.
Oh, that's a favorite for you, right?
This is my favorite week so far.
This is a wonderful week in the world.
Oh man, my best friend was really excited when I told her it was a girl, because she was like, "Oh my gosh, Dino PJs are great," and because she's a nephew, she was like, "Dino PJs are great and everything, but I get to buy her a frilly little pink dress." And I was like, you think I'm not going to buy her Dino PJs?
We had this discussion today. Like, so we've got the nursery kind of color wise, mostly where we want it, but like there's still going to be some baby stuff we want to put up.
Like finishing touches.
Right. We were looking at prints and stuff, like nursery prints, and like I came across some really cool looking dinosaur stuff, and I was like, you want a dinosaur kid, or you want like the woodland creatures thing going on?
So
both.
So my heart says one, and my sense of decor aesthetic says the other.
What's your heart?
My heart's dinos, of course.
Jurassic Park fan.
But I mean, I love furry little animals too. So
the woodland creatures.
But okay, let me tell you, I'm a South Park fan. So if you put furry woodland creatures in my baby's room, I'm going to think of the Christmas special every time. The South Park Christmas special. And if you're not a South Park fan, I won't ruin it for you, but they're inappropriate for a baby's room.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. So send your prints of any South Park woodland creatures to parentallyunprepared@gmail.com.
No.
So
no, baby, that's my papa. Sorry.
I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I think the dinosaurs would be kind of cool, but I don't know. It'll come down to whatever you think is going to be good.
I think we'll find the right thing in the so with shopping for the house decor, I always end up thinking I know what I want and then finding something better accidentally.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with that approach.
Okay.
I think we'll see.
All right. The big move during week 8. Your baby's intestines were infringing on umbilical cord space, but this week they're completing their move back into the abdomen. You got guts, kid.
She's got guts. Yeah.
You got guts, kid.
And I'm supposed to have pregnancy symptoms, maybe.
What kind of symptoms?
Like maybe coming off of some of the worst ones.
Oh, okay. Like departing from those pregnancy symptoms.
Yes, thank you. You're way better with words. Y'all, pregnancy brain is real.
It is.
Is real.
It's very real with her.
I keep flipping words in my sentences. Who were we talking to? I think I was doing it today when a friend visited with her dog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I just kept putting the word I wanted at the end of the sentence right in the middle, and it didn't work, and I didn't even realize I was doing it.
So doing a podcast probably isn't the best idea for your words, but maybe it is. Maybe it's good to run your brain and your mouth.
It's like a Sudoku, right?
The more you do it, the better.
Yeah.
Future grandma, your baby's pituitary gland at the base of the brain has begun producing hormones, meaning she'll be able to have babies of her own one day.
Woo!
Oh,
Grandma.
damn. Oh, man. That's only if she wants to.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Because, let's see, our generation waited till way later. A lot of us did. So how late will this one wait?
They'll probably be the ones that are just like, no, I'm going to go have a kid when I'm 20.
Yeah. They're just going to revert.
Yeah. And then their kids will wait till they're 40.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
It says I might start getting dizzy spells soon, which is going to be a not fun symptom since we have stairs in our house.
Mm-hmm. Two hands on the banister.
2 hands on the banister. Try to make sure the dogs don't trip me like they love to try to do.
Just
Y'all, if we ever come on the podcast and we're like, yeah, well, no more dogs, it's because they tried to kill me. That's what happened. They tried to trip me, and they tried to kill me and the baby, and they all had to live on a farm. I love my dogs.
Germ fighter, your baby's bone marrow is making white blood cells so she'll be able to fight off those germs passed around on the playground.
Just skimming right over my rambling points. I don't appreciate it.
I don't like to think about you falling downstairs from the dogs.
Fair. Well, you should have just said that.
There you go.
Bone marrow, huh?
Bone marrow.
Future donator. Got it.
Got it.
All right. What else you got going on?
The baby has doubled in size.
She's 2 inches.
By now, your baby weighs a full ½ ounce with a crown to rump length of 2.5 to 2.25 inches. About the size of a lime.
She's so big.
She's getting big.
I think I am starting to show a little bit too. Like things feel different. It's weird to like sit certain ways. Like I can't like lean forward on my like.
You can't like bending over to tie your shoes. That's uncomfortable.
Not quite yet, but like
you feel the pressure.
That motion. If I'm like sitting on a weird shaped couch or chair, like I can feel that pressure.
Oh, that sit up you have to do when you get out of a deep couch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was sitting on your couch last night, and like I tried to kick my foot up under me, but like where like the like bend is
where the torso bends.
Yeah, where your torso bends, like it's a little uncomfortable to sit certain ways now. So I think that's indication I will be showing pretty well soon.
Okay. Are you doing the progress pictures?
I haven't yet.
All right, we need to start.
I do need to start. You're right. We're supposed to do.
You don't start. You're just gonna be pregnant. There's gonna be one picture of you, and you're gonna be pregnant as hell.
Yeah. Okay. I got to do this weekend then.
All right. Sounds good.
Yay.
Yay. It's hard to believe, especially the growing. It's hard to believe, especially from the outside, since you're probably barely showing at this point. But your baby has more than doubled in size during the past 3 weeks. Let's see what else. Digestive. We talked about fetal heartbeat. If you haven't already had the pleasure, it's like which we already have.
And we talked about it.
Yeah. So it's likely that this month's checkup, you'll finally hear your baby's fetal heartbeat. Officially a fetus. It's Ophetus.
Ophetus. Ophetus in.
Ophetus.
I had to.
Oh, there I see where you're gonna be. It's the end of the first trimester, so you're probably gonna start seeing less of some of your symptoms.
Oh gosh, no, my headaches have kicked into overdrive though. I will say that.
And you're still tired. Like we slept. Yeah. We went to bed kind of early the Friday we got up to
see
my brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, to see the in-laws, and like it was. I mean, we all kind of crashed out super pretty early for us. Like
1 o'clock in the morning.
Like
on a weekend after like not seeing each other and then getting there and catching up and stuff.
And then we slept for like 10 or 11 hours.
Yeah. And
easy.
They let us, and they wanted to sleep long too. Thankfully,
they did. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
I think my brother was the only one up when I got up.
Yeah.
And he was playing video games. He was like, "Nah, she's still asleep. You guys were still asleep, so I was just playing video games.
Yeah, I felt bad when I realized what time it was because I thought they both were up and like waiting on us.
Yeah. I think we all needed it.
Yeah, it was. And then we slept a long time the next night too.
There's the dizzy spells. All right. Well,
increased sense of smell. You've already like commented.
You have superhero smell. Like I have sensitive smell, but you have superhero smell because you'll be like, I smell blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'll lean into what you're talking about. I'm like, I don't smell it. I don't. It's like in True Blood when Sookie starts getting her crazy sense of smell.
Oh, I need to rewatch that.
Remember?
Yeah, no, I can smell anything right now, especially unpleasant smells. But you're like the in-laws had a lemon tree that they'd brought in from the cold in the house, and the flowers, like
you could smell them strong.
Every time
I couldn't.
Like you know how flowers like they kind of like give off.
They'll release a little bit of scent.
They just release a little bit of pollen. Like every time it did it, it was like a renewed burst of perfume in my face.
Yeah,
it smelled great, but
it's always weird because you do pick out some stuff where I'm like, I can't even when I'm trying, I can't. So sometimes there might be something subtle in the air, and until someone calls it to your attention, you're like, oh yeah, I do smell that. But there's some stuff where I'm just like, I just don't. I just gave the dog a bath yesterday. I don't know. I don't know what you want. She still smells like soap to me.
Nope, she does not.
No, she doesn't.
She did not. You wanted Domino's too, and I was like, so the Domino's that we get, I think we've been going on a day where they were like their cheese was about to turn or something, and I could smell it because it got cooked, and it tasted fine. But I was like, I can't handle that smell and thinking about possibly like almost.
Well, you like extra cheese on your pizza. Yeah. I think that just that cheese, that cooked cheese smell is what you're smelling. Because
I know the difference between cooked cheese and cooked not good cheese.
I don't know, man. Mm-hmm. You know how sensitive I hate.
You know what happens when you've had shredded cheddar in your fridge a little too long and you stick your nose in the bag and you're just like, never mind. Not having that tonight.
Throwing that out.
That's the hint of the smell I got from that pizza. And now I'm like, maybe. Domino's is ruined for a while.
I mean, maybe, but you know me and how sensitive I am to dairy smells, like, stinky cheese, old cheese, like any of that stuff, old milk.
Wish you were that sensitive to dog smells. Come on.
I don't know.
Like this sense of smell has convinced me that we're ripping all this carpet out as soon as we can. It's all going to be vinyl because the dogs will destroy anything else. And we're going to put the only carpet in the whole house is going to be a runner down the stairs so the kid doesn't slip. That's it.
You're going to hate vinyl down here. It's always going to be carpet down here.
No, it's not. It's going to be vinyl fake wood.
Carpet forever.
Vinyl plank fake wood.
Carpet forever.
Holds dog smells. There's too many dogs to keep carpet. It's gross. Write into our Twitter to let us know what you think about gross dog carpet.
At @PUnpreparedPod on Twitter.
Help me win this argument.
parentallyunprepared@gmail.com. That's it. That's week 12.
Yay.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, I can. That's all I'm doing lately.
Lucky number 13 next week.
Woo!
Lucky number 13.
I'll be 1 year older.
Oh, yeah, you will.
Yay.
1 year older, 1 year wiser.
No, probably not that second part.
All right, hit us up on Twitter or shoot us an email and let us know your creepy pregnancy stories.
Oh, please.
And your discipline amongst your child meeting relatives and your discipline with your children.
Oh, my God. I want the creepy pregnancy stories. I live for them. I'm terrified of having my own. I want to live vicariously through other people. Please.
I think that's it. I guess that's it. We're done.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.